Hello Aries, this is Olivia from DOS Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing your monthlies, and it is going to be for the month of April. I think you got a birthday coming up too. I know you do. Anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to continue doing the monthlies with the Celtic cross because it gives a lot more detail, and I haven't heard any complaints. So let's see what we get here. So, what is the most important thing for Aries for April 2021? Let's see. Okay. Now the Sun in reverse is telling me that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be the same as it is in the upright, which means there's going to be growth. There's going to be happiness more than anything. The only issue here is that there's going to be travel delays. So if in the month of April you have travel plans, make sure you're going to be prepared that there might be some kind of delays. It's a beautiful card. It's growth, new beginnings, new blessings, everything you can think of. Victory. It's gonna be like the sun is shining on you all the time. You'll be really happy. Now the Sun card is ruled by Leo. And what's crossing you? Oh, you may have a heavy burden here. The Ten of Wands talks about you may be feeling that you're doing more than you're actually even being acknowledged for. It might feel like you're doing everything when you might not be, and it could be at work. You might feel like your workload is heavier than other people's, and maybe you feel a little disheartened about it, but you might be making more money than them, is the way I see it, and that's possible. You would know that. But don't be too hard on yourself about the heavy burden, because that too will probably be eliminated. The Sun is going to illuminate something here, and it might be that you need to make a change in work. Could very well be that. And this is what you're feeling. You feel like you feel like your egg nest for retirement or whatever kind of, or savings or whatever it is. It feels like you keep using that money more and more, and to the point where there's not going to be anything left. And maybe you're not making enough money then in this situation with the Ten of Wands. Maybe the work is more than what you get paid for. That's interesting that I said that earlier, but it does make sense now with the Seven of Pentacles. Now up here is going to be what you're thinking. Oh my gosh. Are you financially strapped? Aries. You're a hard worker. You do like to work, but well, I have to remember too that the situation that the world is in right now, it's happening to everybody. I hope that it does turn around for you though with this Sun here. That's going to, illuminate. That's going to brighten your life. It's going to make the light shine on you. So just be patient for the month of April. It may end up being actually better than you think. I hope so. Because if this also, the Seven of Pentacles, this talks about once all of these seeds that you have planted have grown and you've taken them, you've harvested them, which is what it looks like you've been doing, is using them. It's time. There's no more growth. And if it has something to do with work, you might seriously need to think about some other kind of work. Because this too here is talking about the loss of financial security. And that can also bring with it the lack of self-confidence. Like you might not feel like you're worthy enough to make more money. Don't ever feel that way. if you have to start your own business, no matter what it is, and be your own boss, that'll get this will turn your self-confidence up. You'll be in a more pleasant, more self-sufficient way of being. So don't feel like you're going to lose money. You may have to lose some money for maybe there's a special project that you're working on, or maybe you're just having to dip into it just to survive. It could be that as well, but don't fear not having money, because I'm telling you, this sun, everything in the sun in the upright is just the same, except if there's traveling, there's going to be a delay. And also, I always forget to mention this, when this card is near other cards that are harsh, like even this one, it turns them into, it makes them more positive than what they are. So keep that in mind too, because like I said, this does illuminate all the cards that are around it. And right now, this one's laying right on top, and these two are here. And then when I do this one and this one, that too will be a lot happier, or a lot less burdensome, or a lot less worrisome. So your recent past, I think you were used to hanging on to your money, but now I think you've started realizing that you might have to open up and let some of that money flow for, I don't know, a house payment or rent, something like that. In the recent past, you've realized that you're going to have to be a little bit more looser with the money. And I still feel like this too might have been some kind of savings account that you've had to start digging from. And it's all because in your mind you feel like you're not going to be, your self-confidence is going to drop because you're not making a bundle of money. And maybe you're used to making a bundle of money in your past, before this reading. And maybe things are changing. Maybe that company you're working with might be changing. And over here, this is going to be your near future. Oh gosh, Temperance. Oh my God, Temperance is telling us to stop right now. Whatever you're doing, you need to stop. It talks about a deep sense of balance that is needed here. And it could be that the balance is going to need to be more so with your money, or actually it could also just be saying stop worrying so much. This isn't that much of a burden. It can be dealt with, but they're telling you to stop worrying, because when you start worrying, the angels cannot reach you to nudge you, to whisper that little, you're doing good, or you need to do this or that. When you're upside down, which actually these are all about money, that's telling me that you're worried about it. And when you're worried, you cannot receive the gifts from the divine, because they can't break through that. You have to be open to receive the gifts from the divine. But if you've closed yourself off and don't feel like you have any self-confidence in yourself, then that means they're not going to be able to help you. And here's that little message, and I always keep this nearby because somebody said it, and I had forgotten about this expression. It says, God helps those who help themselves. And what that means in this particular case is God can help you, but you have to help yourself. If you feel like you're throwing away money, or you're spending it on something that maybe you shouldn't be, maybe you need to stop right now and stop doing that. That could very well be what this is. Because I think you were so used to holding on to some money, like in a secret account or something like that. But now you feel like you're losing it. And if you're losing it, the divine can't help you until you start taking the first step. Okay? And maybe the work you're doing is a burden. Maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to go find that other job. Something that makes you shine. And then down here is your energy once you get this reading. You may, by the time you get this reading, you may already be thinking about moving on. Because the Six of Swords, remember the swords are thinking and verbally speaking. But to me, this is like you're really seriously thinking about going back to a place where it was smoother. And maybe it's another job that you've worked at before, and maybe you know what to expect there and what your pay would be. Whereas you might be in a situation here where you're uncertain about everything. You're uncertain about how much work you're supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be getting paid for it. I feel like you're kind of lost. Sorry. But this is telling me you're looking to go back to some place where it was a lot better. So the next card that's going to come out is some energy that's around you that you're unaware of. I know there's something you can do for work. Everybody's got their own special talent. Find out what yours is if you don't already know it and start using it. Start using it. And then this next card here talks about the energy around you. Oh my gosh. Judgment. Judgment in reverse is asking you to look at your present, your past and your present. Because there's about to be, because whatever you decide now in the present, this is going to be a life-altering change for you. And the divine is aware that you're not the same person that you used to be. So when you judge yourself, is what they're asking you to do. Judge yourself according to the truth, and then ask the divine to remove that from you. Lift it up to the divine. Because we all change. There's things in our past that we might not like. There's things in our present that we might not like. But you still need to take care of that, because it is a karmic situation that you might have been in. And it could be a karmic situation with this kind of work you're doing. And it's not good for you. This is too much. And you're not really making any rewards from what you are doing. I think the reason why Temperance is in reverse is telling you to stop, because I think there's something coming around the corner. And this next card talks about your hope or fears. Well, the King of Swords in reverse, this is somebody that, I hate to say it, but this is somebody that's oppressive, meaning they like to keep other people under their thumb. You're never happy. People around you, they sense it and they stay away from you. And it also talks about there's something here that you just want to do. Well, it could be, I hate to say this, it could be that you're playing mind games. And that could be either with yourself or with other people. And if you're being manipulative of some sort, people will pick up on that. So that might be what this judgment is. This judgment is going to come and hit you hard, and you're going to have to just deal with it at the time. Because this comes at unexpected times. You'll know it. And you will feel it, because if you don't know it, and if you push it away and don't accept it, your life will never get any better than what you're dealing with right now. And then the last card talks about potential outcome. The Emperor in reverse. Now, this energy here could be a boss. Because this is energy that's either your hope or your fears. I'm going to clarify this, but this could be a boss, and this is somebody that may be looking to cut you out of work. They're watching you, and they're seeing what you're doing, and if it doesn't meet their standards, they will cut you out. And this Emperor in reverse could be, this could be your energy where you're starting to feel like you need to get your life in order. Because the Emperor in reverse is this is ruled by Aries and Taurus. Excuse me. And this is somebody that is, you don't feel like you have your act together. Maybe you're not really motivated. Or maybe you're procrastinating. But in reverse, if you can get this to turn up and upright, you'll move on so much easier and a lot better. So let's get the clarifying cards. Let's see, I'm going to do a clarification for each. Now when I do the clarifying card, this card that I pulled from this deck is what has made you like this. Okay? Like for instance, if that's too many. If the card that let's say when I clarify this, the card that I lay down is telling me that card that I lay down is going to be the card that has made you feel this way. So look at it. It's not, when I lay down a card, it could possibly mean that there's going to be a change, but I always see it as this is why things are happening. And when you dig back into that, which is why I like this particular layout, is because you can figure out where it went wrong and now you know what to fix. So keep that in mind too as you read this. So let's start with the Sun in the reverse. Oh God. Are you in a... Now the Ten of Cups talks about a marriage. And if you're in a divorce, or if you're going through a breakup, or it could be family, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that there's a marriage here, because this also just represents family. And if you've got a situation with a family member and this is how you feel that they're feeling, or you know that they're struggling, maybe they're struggling financially, but to me it's like they're struggling emotionally with the cups here. This could be bringing you down a little bit. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands. Interesting. Or not. The Ten of Wands, I hate to say it, but this could be, you could have been drinking. Either that, or you go into a new job and you're all happy, but then eventually your attitude starts changing. It could be that too. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles, your feelings. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You used to be able to hold on to your money, but now it feels like you're losing money, or you're about to harvest it, but you've already lost one that's fallen on the ground. So I think you're just a little worried about money right now. Let's see what you're thinking. What were you thinking when you were in this, lack of self-confidence, lack of being able to make money? Maybe you have a partner that's not pulling their weight too. Maybe you feel like you are doing it all. The King of Cups, now this is somebody that's ruled by Libra and Scorpio, and this is usually a very charismatic man. Somebody that's very sensitive, and they're unafraid of intimacy. But I take that back, they're in reverse. This is somebody that's vulnerable, somebody that feels weak, and that explains this energy too. And they may have secrets or shame or some kind of addictions. That might be why you've got Judgment call. That's why Judgment's here and you're not even aware of it yet. There's something about your past that you weren't living right, or something like that. Maybe you were coming off as somebody that was very loving and nurturing, and maybe something turned bad. And it could have been a marriage. It could have been. You could very well be in a divorce or going through one right now. The Four of Pentacles. Yeah, there you are, just working and working. You're working, but you're not working for self-fulfillment. You're only working for the money. There's no emotional gratification for what you're doing. It's like you don't even like the work you're doing. That's hard on. a person. That's drudgery. Every day you got to get up and go to a job that you don't like, but you're only doing it for the money. People do it all the time. Temperance in reverse. This is your future, or your near future. Oh God. There's no equal give and take here. If you're with somebody, if this is a hurt marriage or something like that, this is telling me that there's not going to ever be any equality, at least not in the near future. If you're struggling now financially, you're going to be struggling even more as you go on, which is why this Temperance is saying stop. There's too much chaos here. They can't break through it. Once you start figuring out what you're doing with this relationship, if you're ending it, once you start working through that process, then you'll be able to start removing this and that and that. You know what I'm saying? Once you start the process of eliminating things that aren't working in your life, the other things will start being removed from you too. And that takes time. Temperance is still here, so don't think that they're giving up on you. It's just that right now they're not able to help you, considering the circumstances that you're in right now. And it does look like a marriage that's gone bad, that may be ending if it hasn't already. The Six of Swords in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. This could be your partner. Your partner could be leaving you. They're taking the money and going. Even though financially this tells me that they're not financially secure. But they're definitely going back to some place where they've been before. I thought it was your energy, unless you are the Queen of Pentacles. You could be the breadwinner of the family. I just assume, because I'm old-fashioned, that it's the husband. You could be the feminine here. Well, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about this queen. This Queen of Pentacles is somebody that's ruled by Sagittarius and Capricorn. Now, when this person is in reverse, they have money issues. And they're very stubborn and they are very stingy with their money. This could be your partner. It could be. And this could possibly be them leaving, or it could be your energy. You'll have to decide that. I think it's your partner. Because financially, they're just not able to make it. Because you're losing money. Okay. Judgment in reverse. This is a judgment call by the divine. Make sure that the present, when you look at your present situation, judge it with integrity. The Three of Wands, you are going to start looking forward. You're forward looking, which means you're starting to figure out a way to make a living. The Three of Wands talks about career, entrepreneurship, anything that has something to do with making a living. You are looking out. You are probably going to be making a change in your life. The King of Swords. This could be somebody you work with. Because the Knight of Wands is telling me that somebody here has been receiving some good news. Because the Knight of Wands is somebody that doesn't take action until there's been a decision made. There could be a decision that's being made if this is you, or if this is like a boss or a supervisor or something like that. They could be getting ready to cut you. Or you might be deciding that you've got better options somewhere else, and you might just take yourself out of their equation. Because you're not making a lot of money, and if whatever you're doing, you don't like it. This person here, I believe, is you. This is the Emperor in reverse. This is somebody that's out of control. They don't feel secure. It's like their world's upside down. And for some reason, you're getting the Wheel of Fortune. And I think I know why. The Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor when things that change in your life are going to better you. And if this is your partner that is the one that's leaving you, and they're financially strapped too, they're leaving for a reason. And whatever that reason is, it eventually is going to be in your favor, because I think you're in a very karmic, remember, karmic situation with somebody. And until this is resolved, and it is going to be, because destiny is what this card is all about. It's also about financial security. It also talks about things turning in your favor. Your luck is going to change. But it's definitely destiny. So it was supposed to happen. I know it's funny how the world turns, isn't it? On the bottom of the deck we have the Page of Cups. To me, I always see this as somebody giving an emotional, well, it could just be somebody that's maybe sad and crying, upset, hurt. Let's get, first of all, the soul's journey. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. If you've been feeling sick, and you probably could be with all the burdens and everything that's going on in your life, make sure you take the time out to rest and heal yourself. Get as much sleep as you can, because you're probably going to need it. And then the other card I want to get is the energy card. A caring connection could be just around the corner. I feel like it almost, when you look back at all of this, it feels like you never really had any support. And maybe this is just a caring connection. That doesn't mean it's going to be romance, but it could lead to that. But right now there's just somebody in your life that cares for you, and they may nurture you back on your feet. Something like that. Alright, that's what I have for you. I sure hope this works, and I will see you during the rest of the month. Until then, namaste. Thanks for watching.